Hello guys, this is my second video for language of chemistry or chemical language. In my first video I taught you about the formulation, how will you make the formulas of different ionic compounds. Now I am going to teach you some questions on the formulation. Suppose this is M2X. It is a general formula of any compound. Here M2X. Now you have to dissociate this M2X into ions. So this will be M2M plus X. If you will write in this way, it means you are wrong, because this formula is a combination of two ions. In the same way, when it dissociates, then we will get two ions. These are not ions. So here 2M, here X. So what is the charge? You should know the charge on this M and X ions. So on the X, here M is multiplied by 2. It means X 2 negative, X 2 negative, and X 2 negative, and X is multiplied by 1, so M is 1 positive. M is 1 positive. So no. Suppose I write it like this, M X. So M may be M positive and X negative. I am saying maybe, because again the same MX, M double positive plus X double negative, or M triple positive plus X triple negative. All the three formulas of ions, three sets of ions is possible for MX, because we don't know. I am giving the example. Suppose this is NaCl, Na positive, Cl negative. Next, calcium sulfate, SO4 double negative, calcium double positive, and again aluminium phosphate, AlSPO4 triple negative plus triple negative. So these three sets of ion represents MX, or MX represents three sets of ion that may be M positive, X negative, and double positive, and X negative. Again, I'm giving the second question. Suppose 2M2X3. M2X3 is formed by the two ions 2M plus 3X. Still, they are not ion, they are atoms of the particular element. So here you will find why this 3 is why X is multiplied by 3, because the charge of the M, or the valency of the M, is 3 positive. 3 positive. So the 3 positive, so x is multiplied by 3. And in the same manner, m is multiplied by 2, which should be the charge of x, and hence the charge of x is 3, x double negative. These 2 or 3 are the number of ions, 2 m ions, yani m ions and 3 m ions. If you are to taking example, suppose Al2 SO4 thrice. Here 2Al plus SO4 double negative, SO4 suppose double negative. So why, how did you know? How can you know that the SO4 is double negative? SO4 double negative, it is as a sulfate. You know it very well that sulfate is double negative, SO4 double negative, and Al is 3 triple negative. It is triple negative because sulfate is multiplied by 3. So the charge of the aluminium or the valency of the aluminium will be 3 or 3 positive. And in the same manner, aluminium is multiplied by 2. So the charge of the SO4 ion will minus 2 or 2 negative, and this is 2Al triple positive plus SO4 double negative. So you can reverse when you dissociate an ion. You should know how many positive or negative charge the ion have. So again, I am give question to number 2. Second type of questions. I am giving you the nitrate of M is MnO3. The nitrate of M is MnO3. Then formulate the sulfate of M. Or what will be the formula of sulfate of M? Sulfate of M. Then here, when you try to make the formula of M sulfate, you will write like this: MSO4. MSO4. Here you know the sulfate has 2 negative charge, but M, you don't know what is the charge of M ion. Sulfate ion has only 2 negative charge, negatively charged, but you don't know what is the charge of M. So come to this formula. Here MnO3. This formula is MnO3. Here you know the charge of nitrate is 1 negative. Then what will be the charge of M? Now you can calculate the charge of M is the M positive. M positive. So the M is same. M is same. So this M contains 1 positive. This contains 1 positive. So the new formula is M2SO4. N2SO4. Such type of question will be asked in your examination. So again, second question in the same manner, the carbonate the carbonate, suppose carbonate I am writing carbonate, carbonate of M is M2CO3. M2CO3. Then what will be the formula of or the sulfate hydroxide of M? Hydroxide of M. Formulate the hydroxide of M. M, the formula, then M, you will write like this, M and OH. You should know about the OH, hydroxide OH, and OH, one negatively charged OH. Now you don't know the charge of M, so come to this. This is the clue for the charge of M. When you M2CO3, you will dissociate it, then you will find 2M plus CO3 negative, double negative CO3. You should know. Because here the name carbonate, and carbonate is CO3 double negative, you know. I have given the name carbonate. The carbonate is CO3 double negative. So what will be the charge of M? 1 positive, because it is multiplied by 2, MCO3 is multiplied by 1. So 2M plus. So here the M positive and the formula of the hydroxide will be MOH. This is the right. Question number 3. Suppose the sulfate of M, sulfate of M is MSO4. Sulfate of M is MSO4. Then formulate the hydroxide of M. The sulfate of M is MSO4, then formulate the hydroxide of M. For M, and this is hydroxide, you know, because I have given the name, and you should know about the hydroxide, OH negative, but you don't know the name of M. So you don't know the charge of the M. So to get the charge of, to know the charge of M ion, this M ion, you go to this formula, dissociate it, M SO4, dissociate. SO4 you know, SO4 double negative. SO4 double negative. So the charge of both the cation and the anion are equal. So what will be the charge of M? The charge of M will be double positive. The charge of M will be double positive. So here you can, this is M or M is double positive, M double positive, and OH one negative. So the formula of the hydroxide of the M will be MOH thrice. MOH thrice. Now, I am saying again, taking the next question, fourth question, it is third question, fourth question. The oxide of M is M2O3. The oxide of M is M2O3. Then formulate the nitrate of M. Formulate the nitrate of M. The sign of interrogation. So, when you go to the formulation of the nitrate, M and NO3. So NO3 carries one negative charge. The valency of the NO3 is one negative. So now you have to know about the charge of M, how much charge M has. Then M, you go to this formula M oxide, then dissociate it, M2O3, then come to here 2M positive, still you can't write here positive, and 3O. Here you are noticing that M is multiplied by 2. It means oxide double negative. No. And O is multiplied by 3. So the charge of the M will be 3 positive. Now come to this M is triple positive. This M is triple positive. We find out the charge of the M. We found out the charge of the M is triple positive. So here the formula will be MnO3 thrice. You will multiply 1 to M and 3 to NO3. So MnO3. The nitrate of the M will be M nitrate. So these are some questions about the formulation. Now I am giving the entire table for the cations and anions. That will the table will contain about the positive, single positive, double positive, single negative, double negative, all types of the cations and anions. So after this the table should be, you should note the table and pause it and note in your notebook. Then remember it. Try to remember. Make practice. So I am giving the table. This is a table for ions. First, monovalent ions means one positive charged. Cations and anions. This is hydrogen H1 positive, Na positive sodium, K positive potassium, Ag positive silver, Cu1 positive cuprous, and Hg2 double positive mercurous, and H4 positive ammonium, Li positive lithium. And again anions, H1 negative hydride, H positive hydrogen, H negative hydride, OH hydroxide, NO3 nitrate, NO3 1 negative, NO2 1 negative nitrite, and Cl 1 negative chloride, Br 1 negative bromide, I 1 negative iodide, and ClO3 1 negative chlorate, BrO3 1 negative, BrO3 1 negative, 1 negative, BrO3 bromate, IO3 1 negative iodate, NS2 1 negative amide, and MnO4 1 negative permanganate. Ca double positive calcium, Mg double positive magnesium, Sr double positive strontium, Ba double positive barium, Zn double positive zinc, Pb double positive lead, Cu double positive cupric, Fe double positive ferrous, Co double positive cobalt, O is small, Ni double positive nickel, NiCkIl, nickel, and Hg double positive mercury. Anions, divalent anions, O oxide, O double negative oxide, CO3 carbonate, CO3 double negative carbonate, SO4 double negative sulfate, SO3 double negative sulfite, MnO4 double negative manganate. This is permanganate, and double negative is manganate. Cr2O7 double negative dichromate, and CrO4 double negative chromate, and trivalent, and nitrogen, and triple positive, P triple positive, Al triple positive aluminium, Cr triple positive chromium, Fe triple positive ferric, double positive Fe is ferrous, and this is ferric, and again N triple positive nitride, P triple negative phosphide, and PO3 triple negative phosphite, and PO4 triple negative phosphate. These are the total ions, monovalent, divalent, and trivalent, so on. So these are the main ions which we used in our secondary and senior secondary classes. So for the senior secondary classes, these ions are sufficient to know. And now for the difference between the cations and anions voice, the ions which ends with the voice of ide, and ate. The ions which ends with the voice of ide, and ate are anions. Note it. All the anions will end with the voice of ide, ate, and ite. So you can identify with the voice of the ion that it is cation or anion. Second, number 1, cobalt. Cobalt is only one. Here, cobalt, this is exceptional, which ends with T. Then leave it. So, to identify this anions, you should know that all the anions ends with the voice of ite, and ate. One thing. Secondly, when a single atom forms anion, the voice of the anion will end with ide, O oxide, H negative, hydride, N triple negative nitride, and P triple negative phosphide. So, if a single atom of an element is forms anion, the voice of the anion ends with the ide voice. So here you can say phosphide and nitride etc. So that's all. These are the answer. So please remember them. Try to remember. Feed up to your brain. Feed up to your mind. Then these are the alphabets of the chemistry. Without alphabets, without the knowledge of this monovalent, divalent anion, you can't write the formula and the equation. So these are the very important thing you should know, you should learn about it. Thank you very much. There's one thing more, this video, so please, if you like this video, if it is fruitful for you, then please forward it to your other friends and like it and subscribe it, then so I can get to know that you understand something with my videos. Thank you very much.